I'm really suffering with hay fever today. I can't breathe right now. I couldn't breathe from the moment I woke up, and I've just sneezed about 5 times, so I really hope that doesn't interfere with today's video too much. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing okay. If you didn't already know, my name's Chloe, I'm 22 and I'm a flight attendant, if you could not tell already by the theme of my channel, and I'm very well aware that's pretty much all you guys know about me. I did a get to know me video when I first started my channel, which feels like a century ago, so I thought I would do like a bit more of an up-to-date one, considering so many more of you have recently subscribed to my channel, so I thought now is the perfect time. So I thought I would do a bit of a different kind of get to know me style video. So today I'm going to be doing a 30 random facts about me that you probably don't know already, so it's going to be a very quick fire thing, so I'm going to get started straight away. So I slept really badly on my neck last night, so my neck is already really hurting, and also all of my 30 facts are on my iPad, which is currently on charge over there, which I did not think about, so I'm going to have to strain my neck even more to look over at the facts. So by the end of this video I'm going to have an extremely bad neck. I have 2 tattoos. So I have one on my ribs, which is the very first tattoo I got, and no one warned me about how painful that would be for my very first tattoo. And my second one is on my hip, and I'll try and insert 2 photos because they're not exactly visible tattoos and I don't know if you've ever seen them before. I have 4 piercings, so I have each of these, if you count these individually, as 1 and 2. I also have my tragus pierced, which I don't actually have any earrings in now, and my 4th piercing is a bit more hidden, and I actually have my nipple pierced, which was, I don't want to think about it. I started primary school when I had only just turned 4, so I was practically 3, because I am an August baby, and I've always been the youngest in my year because my birthday is on the 28th, so pretty much I was 3 days away from being in the next year down below me. So when I was younger, I was painfully shy, so that I think wasn't helped by the fact that I was quite young starting my education, but I was extremely shy of everyone who wasn't my mum, my dad and my sister. So I was literally painfully shy of my grandparents, my aunties, my uncles. Strangers was just a different story, but yeah, overall I was painfully shy, and it took a lot for me to get out of that anxiety. This is probably a very controversial fact, but I absolutely hate the smell of vanilla, coconut and lavender. Like, they all make me feel sick. So I sprained my ankle as a child, and the way I did it was we went to a soft play centre and I was just running around and I stepped on a plastic ball and twisted my ankle. I have to have my baths and my showers extremely hot, to the point where I come out of those baths and showers looking like a red raw tomato. This probably seems like a bit of a strange fact, but I actually don't like going shopping, so I mean like clothes shopping. So unless I'm going there for a certain amount of items that I really want, then I don't enjoy it. So I'll have to go into shops knowing what I want. I will have a swift scan of the store, and if I do not find what I want, I'm out, because I cannot deal with how cluttered everything is and how busy it is. I just don't like it unless I am making a full day of it and I actually have things I need to get. So before I became a flight attendant, I actually had been on a plane probably about 3 or 4 times in my life, so I really didn't know what to expect when I went into it. The reason why I didn't actually fly much before this job is because my parents actually don't like flying very much, so we never really did it. And as soon as I had the opportunity to, I went straight into the industry, because the very few times I flew, I absolutely loved it. And because my parents didn't enjoy flying, we actually went on cruising holidays a lot rather than flying holidays. So I've probably been on about 6 or 7 cruises in my lifetime, and I enjoy cruising just as much as I love flying. So my absolutely favourite restaurant of all time is Yo Sushi, and it's really frustrating that we don't have one in Swindon, so we have to venture out for it. If you couldn't tell by the state of my room, I am an absolute neat freak. Everything has its place and everything needs to be in its place for me not to be annoyed. And that absolutely grinds on Vic's gears, and he is the total opposite. So yeah, great combination there really. So this is actually quite an interesting fact, I think, anyway. So those of you that live in the UK and that watched CBeebies when you were younger, I don't know if you remember that they used to show birthday cards for kids whose birthdays it was. So parents would make birthday cards for their kids and they would send them into CBeebies and they would show them on TV. So my mum did exactly that. She made this massive birthday card that had all of my favourite TV programmes that I used to watch on CBeebies. She made it so glittery, put photos of me and my sister on there, and they actually showed it on TV. So that was like the only time I think I've ever been on TV. So that was actually for my 4th birthday, and I can't even remember if I knew that mum was doing it. But I was so happy when I saw it. I felt like I was famous. So as soon as I turned 16, I was looking to get straight into work. So my first ever job, I think like most people's, was McDonald's. And I actually quite enjoyed it. And that's actually where I met Vic, actually. I started learning to drive as soon as I turned 17. I was eager to drive. I wanted independence. And I went for my driving test and I was super, super nervous. I don't think I've ever been more nervous in my life. And I just about passed the first time. I literally scraped through with 10 minors. That's a lot. I think you can get 15 max. One of my real bad habits that Vic actually hates when I do is biting the skin around my nails when I get anxious or nervous, or I think it's just like when I'm bored. I just subconsciously do it without even realising. And the only time I don't do it is when I have acrylics on, hence why I always have acrylics on. This is quite a personal fact that I don't think I've ever really shown on any of my platforms, is that when I was probably 15 to 17 maybe, I had extremely bad acne and I was so self-conscious about it. It just blew up out of nowhere. Like my whole skin was just covered in really big under the skin sore spots, to the point where my face would just throb 24/7. The only thing that stops it was going on the pill, which I am still on today, and I'm so anxious to come off of because I don't want to have another flare up. I don't think I ever took any photos because I was just so self-conscious and I would refuse to be in family photos because of it. So if I find one, I'll try and include one because I look back at it and I see how far my skin has come. But yeah, if I find one, I'll pop one up somewhere. I think most people feel this way, but I absolutely hated secondary school. I didn't like the people I went to school with. I didn't like the environment. I didn't like the curriculum. The only thing I really enjoyed was arts. That was the only subject that I really enjoyed, and I would never ever go back if I had the opportunity. And another fact about my education is that when I was in college, I very nearly applied for university. I was always the kind of person where I knew university was just never going to be for me. It was going to end at college and I just wanted to get straight into work. But I did have a moment where I was like, maybe I should go to uni, and I really wanted to study graphic design at Brighton University because I love Brighton so much. I could quite easily live there, and I just wanted to experience what it would be like to live down there, as well as, you know, do a course that I would actually quite enjoy. However, last minute I was just like, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't think it's going to be for me at that moment in time. I would like to just wait and, you know, think on it for maybe a year or two. And I just never did it because I just kind of knew that I wanted to carry on working. And here I am today as a flight attendant, nothing at all to do with graphic design or art. The most famous YouTuber that I have ever met was actually on a school trip. So I was studying media for GCSEs, and we were actually going on a school trip to Eurogamer, which is a gaming convention in London. And while we were there, a group of us actually saw the Syndicate. So we all got a photo with him. I do have a photo somewhere, but I was a little bit like starstruck because I'd never met someone famous before. So it was a little bit like, you know, I'm not looking my best in the photo. So if I can find it again, I'll put it on the screen somewhere. But yeah, it was actually quite a cool moment. He was a really nice guy, and didn't actually watch him at the time. I don't know why I was so starstruck, but yeah, it was a cool experience. I'm actually short-sighted, and I have been since secondary school, and it is the biggest pain in the ass ever, and I want to get laser eye surgery for it. So I actually really want to get a nose job, and the reason why I do is because of how horrible this lump is right here. A lot of people say it suits me, but I just really feel self-conscious about it. So funny story quickly about how I actually got the lump in my nose. So I believe, I never got this confirmed, so I think I did, but I think I broke my nose on the leaving do of my last job before I actually became a flight attendant. It was an absolute nightmare. So we went to a restaurant. I thought, right, I'm going to make a full effort. This is my leaving do. So I put a nice jumpsuit on, a nice heels. The heels were massive. And we got to the restaurant we were eating at before we were going out for drinks. And they had just like cleaned the area before we arrived. So the floor was like kind of wet. They did have wet floor signs out. It's just me being an idiot and not paying attention to these things because I was so excited. So I got into the restaurant, slipped on the wet floor and hit my nose on the metal window frame that's at the restaurant. There was blood everywhere. My nose was so sore for the rest of the night. It was bruised. Not fun. We carried on the night. I did not let it ruin the night at all. So my favourite YouTubers that have been my favourite YouTubers for a long time are Kendall Ray and also her Mile Higher podcast with her husband. I really love Ellie Darby as well, and I'm also really enjoying Molly-Mae at the minute too. So this next fact is probably a little bit controversial, and I'm expecting a few comments down below about it, which I accept. But I actually hate Apple products. I can't stand them. I had one iPhone in my life. The battery was awful, hence why I moved on to Samsung, and I would never go back to Apple because these phones are amazing. The only thing Apple I have is my iPad, and yeah, I praise them for their iPads, okay. But yeah, everything else is a no from me. Even that iPad, if I'm like on it constantly, so if I'm like watching something, the battery will last 5 hours. Whereas if I did exactly the same on this phone or a Samsung tablet, which I have used in the past, it would last me double the time. So yeah, need I say any more really? I am not a movie person at all. I would much rather watch a series. I really get into series and I will finish them in a day. I'm that kind of person, and I love me some reality TV. So at the moment I am hooked on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So this one's quite an interesting one actually. I actually have a fear of heights, even though I am a flight attendant, which sounds strange, but I feel to me being on a plane is different than if, for instance, I was standing over the edge of a building. I don't really know how there is a difference, but there is to me. I feel a lot safer on a plane where like the views out of the windows are stunning. I have that to distract me. Whereas, for instance, if I was stood like looking out from a high-rise building, it makes my toes tingle and I don't like it. So when I was in college and towards the end of secondary school actually, I had 4 teeth removed from my mouth. So this kind of location, I think. The reason being was because there was not enough room in my mouth for my wisdom teeth to grow, because my mouth is quite small. So if they would have just left it, my wisdom teeth would have tried to grow down and it would have been really painful. So I had no option really. And also my teeth were really bad actually looking back. I didn't think they were at the time, but they really were. I'll try and put a photo in so you can see the difference. But yeah, like this compared to what it was like previously, it was really bad. I cannot burp. I just cannot do it. I'm definitely more of a farter, which I know very vulgar of me to say, but it's true. I cannot burp at all. I can't burp on demand. I have probably burped this year alone, maybe twice in almost 5 months now. In fact, four months. Twice in 4 months is not healthy. And apparently there is some sort of Botox you can get injected into your throat to help you burp. But that kind of grosses me out, getting a needle in my neck. So I'd rather just stick to farting. I find it really hard to like articulate my words and my thoughts. So you guys don't see it, but whenever I record a YouTube video, I end up recording like 2 or 3 clips of the same thing, because I'm like, why on earth did I just word it like that? That was so complicated. I need to re-record it, make it a lot simpler and talk a lot slower. I think a lot of that is down to my previous job. So working in a call center and working at McDonald's is a very fast-paced environment where you have to talk fast. So I just kind of brought those skills into my, current job, and I need to kind of get out of that, you know, cycle. A lot of customers have said to me, like, you talk so fast, can you slow down? And obviously there's a lot of language barriers as well. So yeah, I'm working on it, and I just need to kind of communicate a bit easier basically and not overcomplicate my words. So my brain is always like 1,000 miles an hour, so even though I'm speaking about my current topic, I'm always thinking about the next topic I'm going to talk about, and I end up getting verbal diarrhea. So I'm just like bleh. So the final fact, and you will definitely not know this one, so me and my sister actually started a YouTube channel probably 10 years ago now, where we made a lot of like challenge videos. You know, at the time it was like chubby bunny challenge and the cinnamon challenge, all those kind of challenges. It was, you know, just a little thing. We thought, let's do it, why not? And one of our videos actually got like 10,000 views, and we were like so embarrassed about having that many views. We were like, oh no, let's just take it down. Like, no, it's embarrassing, like we don't want anyone at school to know. So that was a mistake, wasn't it? Because where could I have been now? Not the best move in my life. So that is 30 random facts about me that you probably didn't know already. Leave a like down below if you learned something new about me, and also let me know, a little comment down below, a little fact about yourself. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have been a long-term supporter, thank you so much. Your support means the world. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a video very soon.